I'm Dr. Mahan, and I'm here to talk to you about an exciting new drink called Unbeetable. And I'm hopefully going to focus primarily on the sort of scientific basis behind this drink. Now, this is a drink developed by the scientists at Wake Forest University, building upon work done at the NIH. Unbeetable's based on beetroot juice, which is one of the highest sources of dietary nitrates there is. Additionally, beetroot juice is, in addition to dietary nitrates, it's very high in antioxidants. And one of the unique features of Unbeatable is that it tastes good. Now, what are some of the, why dietary nitrates? Well, up until recently, it was really felt that the only way we could get nitric oxide, which has a lot of, it's a substance that has a lot of benefits throughout the body. It's known to regulate blood flow, improve muscle contractility. It has impacts on glucose and calcium homeostasis, and even can affect mitochondrial function. Well, it was felt to be sort of a static amount, that you'd reduce an amino acid, you get nitric oxide, and it would do its thing. So it was really very exciting when they found out that through dietary nitrate, in the form of beetroot juice, or if you were actually just taking straight sodium nitrate, that in the mouth it would get reduced to nitrite and absorbed into the bloodstream is nitrite. And nitrite actually in areas of hypoxia will get changed to nitric oxide. And so this is pretty exciting because you could imagine with exercise or maybe an area that there's not good blood supply, you now have a safe way to enhance your nitric oxide, lead to vasodilatation, and increase blood flow. So that was a very exciting finding. Now, and additionally, there's been many bases for this drink. Unlike a lot of other energy drinks out there, this is basically from the test tube to real performance, that we've got studies that show potential benefits of beetroot juice. And let me just go through a few of these. So some of the basic research really looked at oxygen cost. So if you think of oxygen as kind of the gasoline that muscles need for doing performance, well, they showed by measuring the amount of oxygen that people use to perform certain activities that if you took dietary nitrate, and then they would measure nitrite levels in the blood to make sure that in fact those levels were going up, well, they would find that you could do an exercise, be it cycling, walking on a treadmill, or just doing leg exercises, that you use less oxygen, so your oxygen cost went down. So that's a pretty exciting finding. Additionally, they actually looked that, amazingly, that it actually even looked like the muscles weren't having to work as hard. That there was less, some sort of byproducts of exercise when they did muscle biopsies after having supplemented diet with dietary nitrate. And additionally, they found even potentially improved mitochondrial function, sort of the power packs of the muscles. So these are some really exciting things, but we've known all too well in science a lot of times things look good in the test tube, but they don't translate into true changes in performance, and that's what we're really looking for. And so very exciting studies done. A lot of them have been done with cyclists, or one of the classic endurance sports, and they found in cyclists that they had improvement in time trial performance. They did it at 2.5 miles, 10 miles, 10 kilometers, and among cyclists they saw significant improvement in time trial performance after the acute ingestion, so taking it the morning of doing a time trial, or actually taking it every day over a period of time. They showed enhanced performance. Equally exciting is doing some studies walking on a treadmill. They found that if you took the beetroot juice, that actually you could go longer. And so in essence, for the same amount of energy expended, you could go a longer distance. So that's another, so increased endurance. That's another pretty exciting finding. And so they found this in cycling, walking on the treadmill. As I said, they did leg strengths with leg extensor exercises, and they also showed increased time to fatigability, so you couldn't go any further by supplementation with nitrate. And then they even did some pretty interesting studies that sort of look at intermittent intense exercise, something called a yo-yo study, but really it looked at sort of doing intermittent fast exercise where you run between a shuttle, you get a short break, then you do it again, and they thought this would be analogous to athletes maybe playing basketball, soccer, or other kind of stop-and-go sports. And again, they showed a significant improvement in performance after the ingestion of dietary nitrate. So all pretty exciting, and I think there's probably more basis now. So we've got actually from the test tube, we've got reasons that this would work, and we actually are seeing actual statistically significant improvement in performance after ingestion of beetroot juice. Now, are there any other benefits of it? Well, there sure are, and this has been some of the other exciting findings, is that taking beetroot juice lowers blood pressure. So very well done studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine, published in the Journal of Hypertension, showed statistically significant lowering of blood pressure after beetroot ingestion. Also, some of the scientists at Wake Forest were wondering about increased blood flow to the brain. And they gave people on a daily basis, gave them diets that were enhanced with dietary nitrate as well as with beetroot juice, and they found increased blood flow to the frontal lobes in areas that are known to be associated with cognition, and that all often are impaired in people as they get older and demented. And in this study, they were looking at older people. And now further studies will need to be done, but this could have really some exciting implications in the future. Additionally, they found in looking at people that had narrowing of their blood vessels to their legs, something called arterial vascular disease, they developed something called claudication, where when they walk on a treadmill or for any length of time, they start getting pain in their legs because they just can't get enough oxygen down to that area. Well, when they had beetroot juice supplementation, actually, they were able to go farther until they developed these symptoms. And that would make sense because, again, it's an area that's not getting good oxygen. You have increased levels in nitric oxide through the dietary nitrate conversion, and that causes dilation of these areas and get more blood flow. So I'm pretty jazzed about this. A lot of really exciting things. We're seeing increased exercise performance, potentially increased brain health, lowering of blood pressure, high in antioxidants, so multiple reasons to take. Now people have asked me, what's the ideal dose? Now I think this will still be worked out a little bit, but it appears that the current dose that's in beetroot juice is in Unbeatable is probably about the perfect dose. Most of the studies looked at giving people sort of 5 to 8 millimoles of dietary nitrate prior to performance, and it ends up that 1 millimole equals 63 milligrams, and so a 500 milligram dose is about 8 millimoles, which seem to be the optimal dosage for enhanced performance. And that's exactly what a can of Unbeatable gives you. And when do you take it? Well, they showed we know that nitrite levels go up after you take nitrate ingestion about 2.5 hours after you take it to get peak levels. So we would suggest you drink a can of Unbeatable about 2.5 hours before you're going to compete for ideal performance. But they also showed that it stays up for till about 6 hours and then sort of tapers over the next 24. Additionally, you could take a can a day, and that's also been shown in studies to be equally efficacious, and that's been gone anywhere from 3 to 15 days. So we'll still have to figure out how long you can take this and still have the enhanced performance. And those are really the main things. And one other thing that comes up is that since it's the bacteria on your tongue that help reduce nitrate to nitrite, not to use mouthwash by using this drink. Thank you very much.